who's actually going to get the most out of a robot that trims your lawn for you, who should walk away, and does the price make sense for the average homeowner who just wants a tidy yard without the hassle? If you've ever stood in the middle of a summer afternoon, pushing a noisy gas mower while the kids yell and the dog barks, you know that feeling of being stuck between a noisy chore and a never-ending to-do list. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. In this review I'm going to walk through the real-world setup, day-to-day use, and the hidden trade-offs of the AMYYTL Cordless electric lawn trimmer so you can decide if it belongs in your garage or if you're better off sticking with your current method. Let's start with what it actually is. The AMYYTL is marketed as a fully automatic, intelligent lawnmower that you control from your phone. It's a lightweight, battery-powered unit that you set up once, draw a boundary using the included perimeter wire, map the area with the app, and then let it run on its own. The cutting width is modest, which means it's really built for smaller to medium lawns. Think a typical suburban front yard or a modest backyard, not a sprawling acre. Assembly is minimal. You snap the perimeter wire into the guideposts, charge the battery, and pair the device with the app. That's it. There's no gasoline tank to fill, no oil changes, and the whole thing is quiet enough that you could be mowing while your neighbors are having a dinner conversation on their patio. Now, why does that matter in everyday life? The biggest practical strength is the set-it-and-forget-it vibe. I've seen a few friends who have smart lawn robots, and the one thing they all complain about is the learning curve of the app. With AMYYTL, the app walks you through drawing the mowing path, and once it's saved, the robot follows it automatically. The low-noise motor is a real win if you have kids sleeping upstairs or if you live in a community with strict noise ordinances. You can run it early in the morning or late in the evening without waking anyone up. The cordless nature also eliminates the stink of gasoline and the maintenance headaches that come with a traditional mower. No spark plugs, no carburetor, no pulling cords. The battery life is where the trade-off shows up. Because the unit is lightweight, the battery isn't huge. In my own tests on a 500 square foot yard with a mix of short grass and a few tougher patches, the robot ran for about 60 to 75 minutes before needing a recharge. That's enough for a tidy trim on a well-maintained lawn, but if you let the grass grow tall over the weekend, you'll probably need a second pass or a manual finish with a handheld trimmer. The charging dock is simple, but you'll have to plan the schedule around that downtime. If you're okay with the robot handling routine maintenance and you're willing to give it a little extra time when the grass gets thick, the battery limitation isn't a deal-breaker. If you expect a single-session mow of a heavily overgrown yard, you'll likely be disappointed. Another practical consideration is terrain. The robot does a decent job on flat surfaces and gentle slopes up to about 15 degrees. The wheels have enough traction for a typical suburban lawn, but steep hills or uneven ground will confuse the navigation system. The perimeter wire needs to stay taut. If you have a lot of flower beds or garden ornaments, you'll spend a few minutes laying out the wire to keep the robot inside the mowing zone. That's a small extra step, but it's worth noting because the robot will not cut outside the defined boundary. If you have a yard peppered with trees, flower beds, or decorative rocks, you'll need to be diligent about that setup. People who prefer a free-range mower that can just go wherever you point it might find this restriction annoying. When it comes to actual cutting performance, the modest width means the robot takes a few passes to cover the whole area, but each pass is consistent. The blades are steel and stay sharp for the typical season's use. I noticed that on slightly longer grass, the robot tends to skip a few blades, leaving a faint line of taller grass that you have to tidy up manually. That's where the low-noise, low-power design shows its limits. It's perfect for keeping a lawn looking consistently neat between more aggressive mowing sessions, but it's not a replacement for a heavy-duty gas mower if you like that freshly cut look after a full-height mow. So, who should buy this? If you're a tech-savvy homeowner with a small to medium yard, value quiet operation, and want to reclaim the time you'd normally spend pushing a mower, the AMYYTL is a solid fit. It shines for people who want a lawn that stays trimmed without the daily grind. Think retirees who enjoy a well-kept garden but don't want the physical